course I gotta set this up because this is the thumbnail. Should I put it that way? Should I roll it in the front? I'm about to hit my microphone. It needs to be right. That's the thumbnail right there. Yo, what's good? Y'all already saw I got this big ass rim right here. And yes, I made a purchase of some rims without budgeting for it. I thought about it, but I didn't plan about it. I thought about it, but I didn't plan about it. I thought about it, but I didn't plan it. I'm going to talk to you about why I made this purchase, how I made this purchase, how it financially wasn't really that big of a deal for me to make this purchase. But more importantly, I'm going to talk a little bit about financial patience, why we need financial patience. We're going to dive in and talk about it. Let's get it. Yo, what's good? I'm Marcus. You're at the channel, The Debt Free Dad, where we're talking finances, financial takes, topics, current events, attorney reactions. Sometimes some random stuff happen and I just want to talk about it. Or somebody will send me something and they want my attorney opinion or reaction to it. And hey, I'm a blessed community. I want to thank everyone for subscribing to the channel, everybody who's supporting. I want to thank everyone who hit the dislike button. I rock with y'all too. Feed the algorithm, baby. Okay, so I made this purchase for these big ass rims right here. I'm gonna link a video above where I talk about why you need an emergency fund because, hey, I ran over a pothole. Not only did it pop my tire, it cracked my rim and popped the second tire that rolled over it after I got over it with the first damn tire. So that led me to have to purchase some things to repair it. I talked about it in that video. Long story short, I ended up spending $330. Yeah, I wish it was $30. I ended up spending $330 in that moment just to get a replacement rim, a replacement tire used so I can get my ass and drive back home. Now, there were a few things. I could have went through my insurance to get it repaired, or I could have filed a claim with the state to get compensated. They'll pay me for my losses. Now, of course, you file it with the state, it's going to take 6 to 8 months. So I initially went through the insurance just so I can get an estimate from one of their service providers because I wanted to make sure, you crack a rim, you can have any type of damage under there that you may not visibly be able to see. Once I got that estimate, I elected to file the claim with the state because, one, I don't have to pay a deductible when I file that claim. I can just file that claim, wait for the investigation to get done, and wait 6 to 9 months until I get my check. If I would have filed the claim through my insurance, I would have had to pay a deductible, and I still would have had to file a claim with the state just to get my deductible funds back. I didn't think that made any sense. Also, I knew in my mind the amount of the repairs, I should be able to get a brand new set of rims. Shout out to my homegirl, Erin. I'll actually link her channel below. But in my video where I ran over the pothole, I believe she expressly said that it looks goofy now. You have to get replacement rims or something to that effect. Bottom line, she was 100% right. I'm one of those people, like, if something's wrong with my car, it bothers me and I have to get it addressed everywhere. I don't want to ride around with a donut on longer than I have to, or one rim that looks crazy because it's just a spare. Nah, that will bother me. I don't know why, it just does. So I knew with the cost of the estimate, I would be able to get everything replaced. Plus, I also knew that I had some money stashed away. I have a new motorcycle fund. I only put about $50 a month in it. I've been doing that for, I don't know, a while. But there was like maybe $1,200 in there. So I knew that I could get the purchase of the rims and all the things I need to replace it using that money. And once I filed my claim with the state, I knew that, hey, I can take that money I get back, put it back in there, and it is all in the wash. It all balances out. Because, hey, it is what it is. I spent this much. They gave me this much for my losses. I throw it back in there and I'm made whole. I'm back where I started with no loss out of pocket. But this was interesting because it made me think about financial patience, right? A lot of times when an emergency happens, We are so quick to overact. And I'll tell you a story. I remember once I had a car, and I think I did a video on it where I talked about my stupidest purchases, and this was one of them. And it was a Mercury Cougar 1995, all black. It looked like the Batmobile. Real beautiful car. I never had rims before. That car came with rims on it because I bought it from my man in Houston. And you know how people in Houston are. He had TVs all over the cars. It was no rearview mirror. It was a TV right there. It was ridiculous. But in any event, I purchased the car from him. I had that car for years. The transmission went out. And because oh man, I got to get it fixed. I got to get it fixed. I just took it to a transmission spot, ended up paying like 4 stacks to get this transmission fixed because this was a V8. So big engine, all of that type of stuff in there. I spent 4 stacks. When I reflected and thought about it, I was like, I could have just trashed that car, got a used car that was newer with less miles on it for $4,000. But no, I reacted in the moment because it was an instantaneous thing. That's something that we do a lot of times. So I think the best advice that I've ever gotten that worked for me was when an emergency comes up, do not make a split-second reaction. Take a day, take a couple of days to marinate, to sit on it, to think about it. I mean, it's so common where someone's car gets damaged, and if you've been having problems with that car for a while, the first thing that crosses your mind is, I need to go to the dealership and get a new car. But is that really the best thing that you can do? Does it make more sense for you to just fix the car that you have as opposed to having a monthly bill for the next 5 years? Like, did y'all see how long it is to pay off a car? 60 months, 72 months. It's just getting ridiculous how long people are paying on cars, in my opinion. But when you have an emergency, pump your brakes, slow down, think about your options. Don't make any moves for 24 to 48 hours because in that first instant, you're going to be stressed out. You're going to be thinking irrationally. And that's across the board with life. When you have something that goes on that's significant in your family, sometimes it's just good to pull back, take a couple of days to get your head in play, to take the emotions out of it, where you can start thinking rationally and logically. That's the way you can make a decision that's the smartest decision, and that's probably going to be the best decision for you and your family in that particular time. I can think of so many times where something happened and I acted irrationally because I just didn't give myself to the time to sit down, to think about it, to think logically. Hey, especially in my relationship. Not as much now, but young me, yeah, young me was like something happened. Nah, we got to deal with this right now. Nah, now old me, something happened. I be like, it ain't nothing that meets a threshold for me to react right now. So I'm gonna just marinate on it. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna enjoy this game today. I'm gonna go enjoy this wrestling event that I'm about to watch, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do tomorrow. Because it's like really the number of things once you start to get your finances in order and really focus on the things that matter, like your health and your family. The number of things that are really urgent dramatically decreases. It's literally like 2 or 3 things that could happen that'll facilitate something that's really stressful. And all of those things are related to family, like health, family emergencies, those type of things. So when something happens that's outside of your normal routine, if it's personal, if it's family related, always take that time to just kind of pump your brakes, stand back, figure it out objectively, because you got to learn to make those decisions. Emotions are cool, emotions are good, but a lot of times emotions can step on the throat of being logic and rational. And you want to make a decision that's logical and rational, not a decision that's emotional and irrational. If you enjoyed this video, check the video out on the screen. There's going to be more content related to finances and attorney reactions that you'll enjoy.